Hello and welcome to another Wraggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Hey, daft dog. So tonight we're going to be reviewing something Owd Rodger from Marstons, 7.4% strong dark ale. So, let's get in there. Marston seem to push this as their Christmas beer. Although it doesn't actually say it's a Christmas beer, so let's pour this out. Try and get it in one go. Oh, I haven't turned the chuffing light on. Sun will be out in a minute. The sun will be out tomorrow. So, chestnut pour. I would say that's a beige head. Lovely malty aroma. Definitely get some of that fruit in the aroma. Alright, it's not letting me. Why is it these websites? I tell you, some of these websites do you nothing. So I got this from B&M Bargains, who seems to be the only place where you can get it from. I've not seen it in the big supermarkets, despite it being a Marston's brand, which is unusual. And according to Rate Beer, it says here, Owd Rodger, brewed to a recipe believed to be over 500 years old. Wow. Is Marston's award-winning 7.64% strong ale. Brewed using malted barley, whole leaf English aroma hops and well water. Try saying that a few times when you've had a drink. Owd Rodger offers an explosion of rich fruit flavours with a dry bittersweet finish. So, oh, I'm ready for this. Straight away, them fruit flavours are there, and that sweet finish, funnily enough. So there we go. I only discovered it a year or so ago, and I've reviewed. This is probably the third time I've reviewed it. I had one review. I drank it before I started doing reviews, loved it. I did the first review, wasn't impressed. Started off great, towards the end it tailed off. And then the second time I reviewed it in winter. And yeah, it was amazing. So, see how we go today. And obviously, all that rich fruit, lovely. Obviously, the channel has got, over the year, especially these last lockdown months, has gotten quite a bit more people watching. And yeah, it's good to get some of these classics back, because, you know, there's beers out there that all of us haven't drank. There's somebody in Dublin has emailed me a brewery, and I've never heard of the brewery. And to be fair, the beers are a bit expensive. And what we're going to do this year, my wife's got a family in Northern Ireland, Londonderry to be precise, and you know, I don't really get all the Protestants and Catholic thing. Obviously, this goes over centuries. To me, religion, you take it or leave it. I do not care one hoot about religion. I don't care, you know, what people do, that's up to them. Me, not interested in the slightest. But Londonderry and Northern Ireland as a whole is a fantastic country. The people over there are, you know, especially my wife's family, you know, absolute crackers and great people. And sadly, my wife's grandma passed away. And yeah, she was an amazing lady. You know, one of these that told you how it was, told you how it was, and that's it. And then they're all pretty much like that. You know, they'll tell you to your face, and it's that you don't mind, because you know the meaning in it in a nice way. But last time we went across on a plane, come back in a fucking storm, and I'm on this plane, and it's starting to sway, you know. And next minute, it's fucking dropping. That's pardon my French. It's dropping like hundreds of feet, and it's like, oh, you know, And even the experienced travellers are like, we're in then. And however we landed, you know, I thought we were going to die. I really did. I've never been on anything so scary in my life. I mean, I go on roller coasters and that, and yeah, you know, it's a track and you're going to get to the end. I didn't think we were going to get to the end on this. Everyone's absolutely crapping themselves. When we got off the plane, everyone's like, "Okay, no, that was awful. Never been on anything like that." We flew into a storm, and so next time we go across, we're going on the bloody ferry. And but another reason for going on the ferry is because I need to watch the time. I've only got 12 minutes. I need to crack on. Yeah. Oh, lovely. The reason for going on the ferry is because when I get across there, I want to get a load of beers. So I walks into Tesco's in Derry, on the Protestant side of Derry. Although this it's near the big police station that's there. Anyway, I can't remember the actual name of the the section where the actual bit where it is. But walked into Tesco's and you've got I'd got the 4 for 6s, and I'm like this. I'm like my jaw. And there's some here. Now, this brewery was there, Hillstown Brewery. They had about 10 of their beers and lagers there, all on a 4 for 6. And I got to tell you, I could have spent 200 quid in there on new beers, new ciders that I've never drank before. I did some reviews there back last year actually, in a hotel room doing beer reviews. Ever so strange. Yes, it was a bit weird. I managed to come back with a couple of glasses though. But anyway, I paid for the beer. But yeah, so many beers, and also while we're there, whether we do it this year, because obviously with all this rubbish going off, or whether we go next year and do it, we're also going to go into Southern Ireland. I've been to Letterkenny in Southern Ireland, and obviously Derry's on the border of Southern and Northern Ireland anyway. And we want to go to Tayto Park. So you've got the Tayto factory, which is a crisp factory, but we've also got a theme park with the Chew Callanan, if that's how you pronounce it. Any Irish people out there, I'm sure you'll pronounce it properly. And I mean, a good friend of mine actually, his wife's passed away now, lovely lady. And he, good worker, he used to go to an island called Achill Island, in Ireland itself. And that used to be there, every year they'd go there, visit the family over there, burn the peat, for the, such a good life. Oh, but the main thing is just to get over there, and I need to watch this bloody clock. 10 minutes. Yeah, I need to get back over there, get a load of beers, do a mega Irish beer haul, and even pulling a few brewery tours while I'm over there, because let's be fair, if I'm going over there for a few days, brewery tours, sample some of the Irish beers you do. Definitely on the agenda. We did actually go over one year, and it was one of the best Christmases we ever had. We went over, we had Christmas here, and then I think we flew over on Boxing Day, or the day after Boxing Day, whatever it was. And we were there for New Year's Eve, and that was the best New Year's Eve we ever had. Great music. The piss taking between the Catholics and the Protestants is quite funny, obviously from an English point of view and from a non-religious background. It's hilarious for me. They're calling them the mix and the tags and all that. It's obviously there's a lot more to it, and a lot of quite brutal stuff in all that. But is a lot of religion in the world down to making the money, There's a lot of that goes off, and that's why a lot of it's continued to be a thing. But we're not going to go into religion. I don't care for it, never have done. I mean, in this country, in England, you read about, you know, bishops fiddling with kids, and you think to yourself, dirty bastards. And yeah, I mean, you don't have to look on them, though. I mean, fucking hell. That vicar, she's shagging everyone going. She's involved with a dirty bent copper. Fucking hell. And you're supposed to go to these people and confess, eh? Who's the one who needs to confess? Makes you wonder. Oh. So, really enjoying this. And on a day like that, it's quite warm in here, so, you know, obviously the bottle's nice and warm, proper room temperature, so it's just like it would be drinking it in the Christmas months. As long as the beer's stored in the house, not in the shed. Yeah, lovely. Makes me warm up towards Christmas, although, you know, we're still very much in summer. And, yeah, make the most of this year as we can, for all of us who are actually healthy, staying alive. Oh, and for the year it's been, you know, sometimes just to savour a decent pint of beer, you know. We're looking to book a nice theme park break. We're not quite sure where we're going to go at the moment. I think British theme parks have got to adopt the same rules as the European theme parks, where limit the amount of people going to a theme park, but make everyone wear face masks on rides, because then the capacity is at maximum on all rides, and you know, it makes for a good theme park day out. Having capacity at half or less is not a good way to go on. It makes you know, it don't make the day good. And I'm also looking forward to going back to Disneyland Orlando. You know, Orlando Magic Kingdom at some stage, but you know, I need a lottery win before I'm going back there. Or maybe some divine stuff coming through. You never know in life. Money comes through sometimes when you just need it. It's funny, there's been times when the car's broke down, or there's been an issue, we haven't paid a bill, you know, there's things in life you forget about bills and you don't pay it, and then all of a sudden you get a naughty letter through the door. There's times in life, you know, we all go through hard times. And I'm totally gone off on a bloody tangent and I forgot where I'm going. Yeah, gone. Look, I can have another one drink as well. Well, I had a session IPA earlier. Yeah, there's times in life when it's hard. But you know, we've had really tough times as a family. Seen some brutal stuff over the years. And this year's probably been the toughest, one of the toughest years of my life. Not as a family, just as a work, the work, and certainly with issues that, you know, that got into my head. And you know, we had mice in our house once, and that's because the stupid TNS eating, some eating company in Nottingham, put our central heating in and left holes underneath. And we had mice and killed them, obviously, got rid of them. But then this time last year, we'd noticed something in the house, and we put traps down, a bit of poison down, and then that day when we come back, and I saw my little grandson on the floor, and Joe, who's my son-in-law, pick him up. And a bloody rat in the house. We'd heard this scratching, and I tell you what, I've mentioned it many times before on the channel, but you know, that got into my head in such a way that no person has ever, you know, I've worked with some challenging people over the years, But that got into my head further than anything, and I've got to be honest, absolutely broke me. You know, going downstairs scared to fucking bits in your own house. You know, as a 48-year-old at the time, scared, shit scared in your own house. Listening at night, lying in bed, listening for signs of scratching and that. And after a month, it disappeared. We killed 3 rats. And then I went round all the air bricks, put this stainless steel gauze on, cemented around it. You know, I went overboard in my attempts to protect my family, as you would do. You know, you're here to protect your family. 4 minutes, Jesus. But I don't think, with anxiety, I don't think I've ever got over that. And the tough person that is in me, and I am, you know, if I was pushed into a corner and to the stage where someone's threatening my family, then, you know, hell would be unleashed. But that's not the person I am. You know, I try to be a nice person at all times. But yeah, that really devastated me. And it's funny how things can break you. You know, I mean, as a 20-year-old, something like that wouldn't have fazed me at all. But it makes you wonder, as you get older, do you get more susceptible to certain things like that? You know. And then we had a resurgence of something. We never got in the house again. The house is safe, thank fuck. On the side of the house, there's a air brick there. Something had been trying to dig round where we hadn't concreted, and where the soil was, dig round, and it was starting to get in. So I filled it, and obviously this is the beginning of the lockdown. Filled it with fucking nails, hundreds of nails. Poured paint on, so the paint's set solid. It ain't going through that because obviously rats, when they start clawing at things, when they start bleeding, and also we put poison down. Once they start bleeding and they eat the poison, they bleed to death. You know, it's just a thing. And we had a couple of months where we had issues, you know, where they was eating the rat poison. Bloody hell, here we go again. And it's been 5 weeks of joyful bliss. And I blame the 2 gardens next door to me, because both of them gardens are shitholes. And, oh my God, here we go. And it's, you know, we've had nothing for weeks, so hopefully that's it. But like anything, you're never far away, you know. And if people are putting food out for birds, squirrels and all that, you are enticing these things to your doorstep, you know. And if they ever get into your house, ooh, not good. My skirting boards, I've had to repair skirting boards because the bastards have been scratching at the skirting boards. Evil. I mean, I'm a master piss taker when I can be. I'm not at the moment because I'm not mentally right. But I'm a master piss taker, and that just absolutely slaughtered me. But anyway, back to the beer. Awesome dried fruit flavours, a sweet bitterness, a nice malty nose, 7.4%. It's the spot beautifully. A really gorgeous beer. And well played, Marstons. Thanks for bringing it back, because, you know, good beer should never disappear. They should always be there, even if they only bring them out once a year, so that we all get a chance to have another drink. And I best end this review quite quickly because I'm on 1 minute. Anyway, out of 5, 4.6 out of 5. Loved it to bits. Great aroma, great taste, and good price as well, about £1.60 from B&M Bargains. And that's it for this beer review. Thanks for watching. Thank you everybody for subscribing and commenting. And see you soon. Cheers.